We are live. I hope I get some people in here. Got my incense burning. We are live. We are live. We are live. So let's see. And I'm in horizontal format. So it might be slow. But anyway, so yesterday, as I was driving, I bent the corner and ran up on the curb because where I'm at, they're kind of tight. And I had my snake plant in a small, tall pot and it fell. It fell over. It didn't make a huge mess, thank God, because it was pretty compact. But I figured it was a good opportunity to put it in a bigger pot. It's not very tall, but it's bigger because it was time. So I put it in here and it's better in here. It was in one of my small, tall, square, like nursery pots. So I put it in here yesterday. Perfect. Yeah. She's okay. Nothing got bent or broken, thankfully. And now she's more secured, and she won't fall. Be careful. Yeah. Now she's much more secure, much more stable, and she won't fall. So anyway, let's just get right into it because I know, I gotta get back. I gotta get back on track. But anyway, there are there are some changes happening, which is good. Change is good. I personally, I like change. Change is scary, yes, but I do like change. It signifies growth, in my opinion, no matter what it is. That's just how I look at it because I don't like to think that I go backwards. Things may look like it, but, in some instances, um, but that's never the case. So, anyway, it has come, the time has come for me to step into the official name of the podcast. And so I've done that. And it came about because as I was listening to episode 5, when I was in the editing stage of that, it just came to me. The actual name of the podcast just came to me. And I was like, this is so perfect. This is so perfect. So from episode 6 going forward, the podcast is now called the True Resilience Podcast, which is a better reflection of the podcast instead of the Van Life Hustle. So, the True Resilience Podcast is now what the name of it is. The only issue I'm having is on the Spotify Creator app. When I try to upload my cover art, it just only uploads a little sliver of it. I don't know what the deal is with that. See, I got it. This is another. My hair always gets caught in my stick pins. So yeah, and I don't know what the deal is with that, but I have the new cover art. I did post it on my what is it called, on my community page. So that's there. But anyway, yeah, the True Resilience podcast with yours truly, Shalonda Elise. I'm excited about that. Episode 6, I am very, 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 very geeked to do. So another thing, I've still been um, hustling on my own things and applications. I put my post on my community post that I got my RBS certification, which means I am officially able to bartend. So that is really dope. I'm going to print out my resume. I created a simple resume. Haven't had a resume in a long time. So I'm going to print out a couple of copies of my resume, and there are a couple of places I want to go to tomorrow. On the on Craigslist, they do have to apply in person. So I'm going to take my little self down there in person and go and apply. Now, here's another thing. Okay, so I did say change is coming. Here's the biggest change that, as we're in Q4 of 2025, I am trying so hard to force myself, and I just got to do it. I just got to do it. It's difficult because my focus is on getting my income, right? But I got to force myself to get active, whether it's going to the gym, and it's not even about, it's not about the activity. It's about piling up dirty laundry and then having to do laundry, and laundry costs money. So that's what it's about. That's more than anything what it's about. So God willing, if I go to one of these places tomorrow and I get hired lickety split, oh, boom, that's easy. That's easy. I'll be working out no problem on a regular basis, no matter whether I use like my free weights and things that I have on my own to go on walks, put on my weight vest, put on my weights, get back into using my kettlebell, whatever it may be, you know. But I just don't, I really don't like how inactive I am. What, like, I miss working up a sweat. I miss putting my body through challenging workouts. I miss that so much. I miss that so much. So, um, yeah, I gotta get back into it some way. But more than anything, I gotta get my income back up. I gotta turn my fan on. So if y'all hear this, it's my fan. So yeah, that's what's happening. That's another thing that's going on. So I had something yesterday that was planned, and this person contacted me, okay, and scheduled this with me. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a California thing, if it's a LA County thing. I don't know what it is. But as I thought about it last night, the only time that I've had like flakes happen and people ghost me and people not show up even when I was hiring them for something, or people just don't come through, or people doing shoddy work and just not good work, not good, not uh, having a good business relationship. It's only been in LA County. And so it was no different yesterday. It was, and I was so excited. I was excited. I was excited to do it. I was excited to get some content from it. And I was excited to actually sit down with someone and have a conversation. You know what I mean? And I don't even know if this person would have contacted me to say anything, because I had to text and was like, did we change the time, or And the person had texted me like in the early in the morning, first thing in the morning, I'll say, as if we're still on. And I'm just like, really? This is what we're doing? This is really how you do business. This is how you conduct business right here. And then to not even say anything, I was so disappointed and irritated. And I'm 51 and I still get a menstrual cycle, which yesterday was day 2, cramps, fatigue, and I was very irritated, but I did well to, stay in control because I am disciplined and I do have control. But I was aggravated, let me tell you, I was definitely aggravated because that is not how you do business. That is not how you do business. That's not how you build relationships. That's just not how you conduct yourself at all. So, and then to just waste my time over the however many days texting and having a video call and just all the unnecessaries, all of the unnecessary interactions. Like, you could have just left me in my little lane where I've been. You didn't have to reach out to me just to be on bullshit. You didn't have to reach out to me just to turn out to be a dandruff flake. That was so unnecessary. So that happened. That happened. I really thought I was going to have some content from that, and but at some point I have to learn better. At some point I have to realize that every situation like this that I've ever encountered, it's come from people in LA County. And so yesterday was definitely I don't have to worry about that again. I'm not falling for the okey doke again. I am not falling for the okey doke anymore. Yesterday was the last straw from somebody in LA County being on pure flagrant nonsense. Such a waste of time. And I just don't conduct business like that. So I don't have content from that. Um, and another thing. So Friday night, yesterday was Saturday. Friday night, again, I'm on Craigslist constantly looking for jobs, server positions, simple little stuff. And so I saw one and at like a cafe or somewhere, I don't remember. And apply in person, and I think it had Saturdays. I don't remember, but I just remember the thought passing through my head, oh, I can go to this tomorrow. And I was like, oh no, I have this thing with this guy Saturday. And our meetup time was supposed to be 11. I was like, okay, whatever, I'll just go Monday. Had I not had that, I could have went to that yesterday. I could have did that yesterday. But, you know, such is life. It is what it is. I learned my lesson, and this was definitely more than the third time. This might have been the third actual thing for me on business, dealing with somebody in LA or in LA County. But the level of flake is just way too high and way too flagrant. So I didn't get that. I didn't get that content, which I think would have, looked good on my page. But anyway, keep it moving. That's what I do. Keep it moving. So, um, that's it. It won't happen again. I'll tell you that. It will not happen again. Okay? Because, and here's the thing also, and I've been telling this to my kids since they was teenagers. I don't do excuses. I don't do excuses. I don't do excuses. And here, my whole life, I've had, baby, I got 15 bags full of excuses. Instead, for me, they're reasons. I don't accept excuses. I just don't. I just don't. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing. If something is valid, if something valid happened, then in a timely manner, you can contact the person. Even if something happens, like let's say you're on your way, right? And something happens as you're on your way, and you're on your way in a time to where you would have gotten to that thing, even because, again, we're grown, right? On time is late. On time is late. If you're supposed to be somewhere at 11, you get there at 11, you're late, right? But even still, let's say you leave in enough time to get there at 10:55. Soon as something happened, you contact this person to say something happened, I'm not going to make it. You don't just go around about and say, and maybe it's just me because I respect my time, which means I think it's just courteous to respect somebody else's time. And when you put your time on someone else's time and vice versa, why wouldn't you respect that person's time? Why would you just say, "Oh, well, shit, I got a flat tire, so I just needed to call for help." It all only takes, and the quickest call you'll make or text you'll send would be to the person that you're meeting up with to just say, "I got a flat tire, I got a call, I'm not going to make it." You know what I mean? Because maybe that just sent you in a totally different headspace to where even once you get your tire fixed, you're not in the headspace to go and do that thing anymore. Cool. Then you call AAA or whoever the hell you're gonna call, because those calls are gonna take longer than the call or the text to say this happened, I'm not gonna make it, than to just leave it and be like whatever. And then when they text you to now you come with the, oh yeah, I was gone, but this. What the So you have absolutely no respect for my time. You have absolutely no respect. Like, why would you involve me? And that's my thing. Like we used to say in St. Louis, don't volunteer lies. Okay? Don't volunteer lies, and don't volunteer. Don't just pick me to bullshit me around. Don't pick me just to bullshit me around. You know what I mean? You contacted me and did all this. Leave me out of it. Leave me out of it. You see, I'm over here in my doing my thing. I'm not bothering nobody. Don't just pick me to be on some bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, that's insane to me. Completely insane. And it's always that one that, like when you're talking about a bully. I grew up in the era of real big bullies, right? And it's always the kid that gets bullied that the whole fucking neighborhood want to tell, and all the teachers and everybody want to tell to forget about it. Don't worry about it. Nobody gonna go check this motherfucking bully. But everybody gonna tell the little kid that's scared to death to defend themselves to just leave it alone. No, 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 because people need to know. And now, as grown adults, and we're out here in this business arena, calling ourselves so-called want to be entrepreneurs, want to be, you know, get our social media pages going on, and you're conducting business in such a distasteful way, to where, if this, how are you doing business, and are you just conducting business with everybody like you in LA? A bunch of shady motherfuckers like you in LA. You know what I mean? You and your crew of whoever the fucks just going around wasting people's time, wasting each other's time. Y'all back and forth just standing each other up. Y'all back and forth with bullshit excuses. Y'all back and forth with unfulfilled meetings. Y'all was supposed to meet up. Half of y'all didn't show up, and you're just okay. Like, you understand. Nobody ever contacted nobody. Is that who you do business with? Because that's not how I do business. And I don't even involve people in that. So, and there may have been, but I give people opportunities, especially if they're just starting off on social media trying to take it serious. But I should have seen some red flags when we had the video talk. And I'm gonna get this off my chest. I'm not going to hold this in. I'm gonna get it off because I was very, very aggravated. And I was volunteered to be in on this bullshit. So now I gotta get this bullshit out of me. Okay. So here we are. Here now. So strand of my hair was in my curtain. One of my little curly cues. So anyway, put that right in my toilet. So one of the things when I asked what what his plan is for what he's creating, oblivious, oblivious, no clue. I'm just, so I gave my analogy and it's like, oh, I'm just, no, you have to have some level of focus, even when you're just getting started, because I've been there just getting started, and still, like, you have to have a destination that you want to take your audience to. Like, you're doing this just for what? Just to be seen? It's millions of motherfuckers way more interesting to be seen on the internet. What do you what's the goal? What do you And then I asked, well, why did you choose me? Why did you think I would be beneficial? Why do you think my story or my journey would be exciting to your audience? You know? And no real answers came from anything. But whatever, I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. This is all hindsight now, and I'm just like, whatever. And even once I broke it down, to still come back and say, well, I gave the dartboard analogy. I always give the dartboard analogy when people say they don't actually have a target for something, because you're not going to reach everybody. And even if you think what you're doing is for everybody, I I may feel like my journal is for absolutely everybody. But when I laid out these pages, when I thought about you know taking my time to put each phrase up here, when I designed the layout, I'm like, okay, well, who do I think it was for? When I made the cover, I'm like, okay, well, who do I think this would really be interesting to, or not even interesting to? I designed this with kids in mind. All right, I designed this with kids in mind. Some adults have bought it, but I also have had someone buy it for their nephew who absolutely loves it. What they love is how wide the pages are. That's why I made it that way, because I designed it with children in mind, right? Big space, they write big letters. I put these, which, maybe their parents or whoever can read it to them, to just inspire, and even for adults who can read it, just to inspire adults to write and let their ideas out. But to just say, oh, it's for everybody. Oh, I'm just going to put some shit together, and it's for everybody. And then on Amazon, when I had to put in the keywords and the different things, if I don't have a target in mind and just say, oh, blah blah blah, what are we doing here? What are we doing? You can't you Marketing 101, you have to have a target, okay? That is the foundation of your strategy. So again, I always give the dartboard analogy. And if you're a dart player, like I'm a dart player, I'm not just throwing the darts, okay? I'm not just throwing the darts. Even when I switch from my left hand, which I'm left-handed, to my right hand, when I make that switch, know that there's a reason, okay? When this lefty been left-handed my whole entire life, when I switch and pick up them darts with my right hand, trust and believe there is a reason why I'm doing that. This is a critical moment in the game, because the whole game, your girl ain't just been aiming at fives and tens. She's been aiming at ones. No, I'm aiming at them 20s and that bullseye every time. Every time. I'm not aiming at the fives and the tens, or I'm not aiming at anything. I'm not just shooting a fucking dart against the wall, you know. And even when he said, right now I'm just aiming at the fives and the tens, here's why I don't think that's smart when you are in the beginning road, or especially in the beginning, because once you get further on, then you realize that's not smart. But why I don't think that's smart, even as a beginner, is because you don't learn how to really hone in your aim and your focus. And you don't learn really who you're targeting. If you go in and say, okay, I'm going to aim at the 20, meaning I'm going to aim at this target demographic. I'm creating content for this target. I'm creating something for this market right here. And then as you go, as you look at your analytics, as you see what you're doing, you're like, oh, okay, this is where I can tighten up, or this is where I can expand, or this is where I need to pull back. If you're just throwing, you throwing linguine at the wall, you throwing spaghetti at the wall, you throwing thin spaghetti at the wall, you throwing fucking rigatoni you just throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks better, but you don't have a reason why. You just like, I just want to see some form of pasta stick to the wall. But why? Like, what's your end goal? What is your end goal to why you're throwing all these different types of pasta at the wall? What's the end goal that you're looking for? I get it. I get it. You want to see pasta stick to the wall. But why? What is the goal? Are you trying to create something? Are you trying to throw the pasta at the wall to create a face? Are you trying to design art? Are you trying to make some type of abstract art? What are you trying to do? Because all these different types of pastas that you're throwing is going to yield all type of different results. They all have a different weight when they're wet. So many variables, right? But if you have some idea of why you're doing what you're doing, it just makes the road a bit less bumpy from your control, from what you have from where you're starting from. And so even that was a red flag to say, I'm just throwing shit against the wall, and you know, we're just gonna see what happens. We uh, at some point, that doesn't work in any form of business, even this content creation business. At some point, that just doesn't work. And then when you start involving people that you want to interview, and now you want to bring someone else on your platform, put them on camera, and you better hope they're a bit more of an expert than you are, because if not, this interview is going to look and sound like a whole shit show, because your questions probably aren't going to be formulated for and articulated in a way that will really create engagement. So then the interviewee, being who would have been me in that instance, would have had to respond in a way that was able to carry the interview. Now, this is just, it didn't happen. So we'll never know. Like I said, I guess we'll never know, So, but now at least now I am able to look back and say, okay, these were red flags, definitely. But I wasn't just gonna say no. I wasn't gonna not give the opportunity, or not um, give myself the opportunity to do it. But baby, don't waste my goddamn time. Don't waste my goddamn time. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't waste anybody's time. You know what I mean? because there's people have so much to offer when it comes to networking, you know what I mean, and partnerships and things like that. Like, don't waste time. Don't waste time. I'd rather you waste my food, but don't waste my time because I can get more food. Time, no, it's a precious commodity that I cannot get more of. Don't waste that. Don't waste that. Don't waste that. So that's that was my morning yesterday. That was my morning, completely wasted. Completely wasted, baby. But I dominated these cramps. I dominated the fatigue that I was going through yesterday. I made it through and I was able to get what I needed to do done, which was getting my new podcast cover updated. I was able to get I was able to get the new podcast description done and the title done, um and all like that. So this morning already I did start work. I did attempt to upload the cover again. I don't know what's going on with Spotify. I don't know what's going on with the Creator app, but it is just posting like a sliver of my cover. And I don't know what the deal is with that. I did leave a review and asking for them to update it because I got to get my new podcast cover uploaded to Spotify, but I don't know what's going on with it. It's acting up. It's acting up. So, but everything else is updated. And I even had upload I re-uploaded the old one and it was doing the same thing. So I don't know what's going on with it. We'll see. Hopefully it's a bug and they'll get it fixed. Like I said, I did leave a review and let them know that this is happening. So we'll see. But either way, I'm excited about episode 6. So now, episode 6 of the podcast. Tuesday when I came live, one of my longtime Instagram followers, she was on my live. And so I was talking about episode 5, which is out now. If you have not listened to episode 5 of the podcast, it's still under the name Van Life Hustle Podcast. Check out episode 5. So she offered a suggestion for a podcast. And I took the idea, developed it out more, and am going to run with it. So episode 6 will be based off her suggestion of a podcast. I don't want to spill the beans, so I'm not gonna share any more than that. But it is a really, really, really dope idea. And for anyone who listens to my podcasts already, I think you'll enjoy it. And here's let me just pause for a minute, and I just want to say this because I've had many start overs on in life and on social media. And I've had many like months and years of literally talking to nobody. And for me, like, even though I've gotten better and better and better through repetition, through doing it, through really working towards getting better, through working towards being more structured, what excites me the most about this podcast is the fact that all of these episodes will be here when it grows, when I do grow, when I have an audience that now are interested in, or when the audience on Spotify grows organically. I'm really excited about each episode because they'll all be here when the audience come and want to know where it all started, and they start binge watching and listening to episodes, and they track the journey from the beginning, from season 1. Like right now the podcast is still in season 1, episode 5. This will be episode 6. And I'm doing I decided to do 11 episodes per season. So every season will have 11 episodes. So we are six, almost 6 episodes into season one. And that's what excites me the most. You know, the fact that all of my beginnings will be there when it grows, and the evolution, someone or quite a few someones or hundreds of thousands of someone at some point will be able to experience the journey from the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be a time when someone, let's say, so my goal on YouTube is to reach 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you're not subscribed, hit subscribe. Um, so that's my goal, right? So let's think out to once I'm at 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. And let's say by chance that by that time, let's say I have 100 followers on Spotify listening to my podcast organically. And let's say this is February, March, right, of 2026. So just wrapping up Q1 of 2026. Now I got 100 followers on Spotify. And let's say on one of the episodes, or maybe they find me here but prefer to listen to their podcast on Spotify instead of on YouTube. They find me here or in an episode, and they hear me say something about when I got released or when I got locked up, and they're like, "Oh, what? I didn't know she was locked up. What? Wait, what's that story? Where did that come from? Wait, hold up. What was she locked up for? What? Wait. There is much more to her journey. There's much more to this story than I thought." Or they hear me mention briefly when I decided to leave my apartment, leave traditional living, moved across the country and become a mobile dweller, and fell in love with it. Let's say they just hear me briefly mention that in the episode down the line. They're like, wait, what? What? All of those episodes with all of those stories are there from the beginning, from episode one of season one, from van life to prison cell, right? All of these are there. And that to me is the exciting part. It's not about having the audience for me, and anyone who has been following me from the Mercedes Mansion, even from Hotel Honda, um, like my sister Zeta has been following me from Hotel Honda, Arizona, right? And I've always said, for me, it's the journey. It is the journey of my life that I love because I've had ups and I've had downs, and I've had several of both, several ups, several downs. You know what I mean? And every like I just posted in one of the shorts, I'm proud of the fact that I have one more up than I've had down. But baby, when it comes to like you hear the Mark Cubans and you hear all of these really successful entrepreneur business owners, when they're asked about their wins and losses, they all will tell you they've had way more losses than wins. Yes, I've had way more losses. Losses and falls are different. Wins and get ups are different, right? Yes, I'm still encountering losses. You don't ever stop encountering losses. But that one big moment that they all speak of, I've yet to have my one big moment, but I have one more get up than I have from falls because I'm always going to get back up. For me, it's the journey. It's absolutely the journey. The woman I am now, and it's so trippy because at 19, one of my girlfriends and I was having this conversation, and we're so aligned. I love her so much. We're so aligned. But I specifically was saying, this was at 19, I don't have any regrets. I don't have any regrets because every aspect of my life, from some of the darkest, most trying times in my life, at that point, has gotten me to where I am right now. This was me at 19. I was saying this. I liked who I was at 19. Shit, I liked who I was at 15. I didn't like what I was going through from 15 to 19. I didn't like what I was going th- I didn't like what I was going through at many aspects of my life. But I liked me, which is why I didn't allow whatever I was going through to take me out. I like me. I fucks with me the long way. So your girl always gonna get back up. I love the journey so much that yes, starting over with different ventures on even now. Like this isn't a new YouTube channel, but being locked up for 7 months, losing my monetization, people stopping watching, even getting sick for a month before I got locked up, getting sick for a month and not able to keep up the flow of my content and losing viewership during that month that I got sick, and then having a hard time getting back in the mode and interest of making videos after I was sick. Like, it's been a journey, baby. It's been a journey. But there's always going to be something that revives that spark. You know what I mean? And for me in this moment, it's been the podcast. The podcast has re sparked my fuse to everything pretty much when it comes to social media. It's re sparked my fuse because if nothing else, that's given me something that I'm excited to share and to talk about. I'm still having a tough time with creating my van life content. I'm still having a tough go with that. And mainly because everything goes back to my income. Like until I'm able to really get my income back going, I feel like, and maybe I'm not being creative enough, but I just feel like I'm so limited and restricted to what I'm able to produce. It's just crazy. It's crazy. And even when I say, okay, well, I could use this opportunity to create more story time videos, right? More just talking point story time videos of my experience being in federal custody. Maybe I could. But then let's go back to what I was talking about earlier. The audience, like what would I be doing that for? I don't know. I don't know. I have a tough time with that. I have a tough time with that. Not because it's hard to talk about it or anything like that. Um it's something I experienced, but I more so think about who is it gonna reach. And then I think, I work out with my I try and develop the ideas with my co-founder, ChatGPT. um I try and develop ideas into, how I could build that out and keep it and structure it. And I don't know, maybe I'm putting too much thought into it. Maybe I'm putting too much thought into it, or maybe down somewhere in there in me, I'm just not interested. I don't know what it is, but yeah, maybe this week, you know what? I'm going to make a promise to myself. I'm going to make a challenge to myself. And I may have a tough time keeping my fitness challenges because of my income and being restricted with laundry. But this is a challenge that I'm making right here on this live, okay? Which I don't delete my lives. So this will be on my page forever. It is Sunday, October 26th, 3:24 p.m. And I am saying I would show you guys my phone, but I have my picture and I don't want to risk getting demonetized. I mean, risk getting flagged. Um, but I'm making a vow to myself. I'm doing a challenge now that I'm going to do 30 days of every single day. I'm going to create a video, a recorded video, and share one story of from my experience of being locked up. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. A 30-day challenge to post one video every day. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to challenge myself to do that because if I'm being honest, I haven't even put in the effort to reach 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Let's just keep it 1,000. I have not put in the effort. Um, I do what's easy. I'll post a little message reel or something like this, go live. These are very easy for me to do. But yes, that's the challenge I made starting tomorrow because I am doing this live. So, starting tomorrow, I'll do a recorded video. I'll post a recorded video every day. So that means there will be a video coming out every single day for the next 30 days. I like that. Pinky. All right. Pinky promise. That's the vow that I make. That's the challenge that I'm doing for myself. So, and with that being said, I think it would only make sense to maybe, let's see, should I share one story before I end this live? Because this light is hot. Let's see, because I do have a lot of stories. I do have a lot of stories from the three different facilities I was in. Baby, day one, day one, I had stories. From day one, they supplied many stories. So, yeah, that's what I'll do. No, I won't end it here because I don't wanna ruin it. But anyway, um, yeah, that's it. That's it. Changes are coming, and that's another change that is coming. Changes are coming. Um, check the description. I have links in there. Like the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you watch this on replay, leave a comment. Let me know you're watching this on replay. I'd love to see who watches this on the replay after the live ends. Like I said, check the link for the description and um, comment, like, share. These these are really effortless ways that you can support my channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. Just so that YouTube sees that somebody's interested. Okay. So, all right, and I do have a bunch of links in the video. One being to this journal here, as well as my 6 month daily gratitude journal, and other links, other ways that you can support the channel. So that's it, you guys. Happy Sunday, happy first day of the week. Thank you for hanging out with me for a little bit, and I'll see you guys in a video tomorrow because tomorrow I'm posting a video. Peace, y'all. Yep.